Yo, it is your guy Alec Elijah Vandross, depending on how you know me. And the college football season is back. So, of course, the college football content is back as well. And as always, be sure to hit that like button for me. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you aren't, salute to you. Appreciate you tuning in. Now, prior to the college football season getting kicked off in week 1, there seems to be some uncertainty as to just who the CB1 is of the nation. And after deep diving through film this summer, I really feel that there are 3 cornerbacks who have made a strong case for themselves. And that's what prompted me to make this video, just so we can talk about and go over the top 3 corners in my book. And then let you guys decide in the comments just who CB1 of the nation really is. So make sure you guys leave a couple comments as well when the video is all said and done. We're going to be going over the top 3 corners. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, so the first corner on this list, and I feel like this won't come as a surprise to really anybody, but it's going to be Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, who's really been a household name since his arrival to college football in 2022 when he got to Jacksonville State with Deion Sanders. And I mean, some would even say he was a household name before that. Now heading into his junior year and slated to be a first-round pick in the 2025 draft class, Hunter will look to solidify himself not only as the best athlete in the country, but the best cornerback in the nation. Coming off a sophomore campaign that only featured 9 games due to injuries, Trav was still able to compile 3 picks and 5 pass deflections when the ball was thrown in his area. Obviously, biggest focal point of his game is going to be his motor. I mean, this past season, he only played 9 games, but he still played the most snaps in college football with 1,044 snaps played. And while I would love to see Trav, focus primarily on being an island cornerback, his athleticism just makes him a huge weapon for the Buffs on offense. So it's kind of hard to take him off the wide receiver position. If he can play a full season this year, I think there very well could be a top 10 pick out of Colorado in the 2025 draft. Now, right now, I feel he's already a comfortable top 20 pick. I mean, even just based off the athleticism, he's an elite corner. Some would say he's elite. I don't think he's as elite as he is at the cornerback position. He can make great catches at the wide receiver position, but I think the bread and butter and where he's going to make the most money for sure is going to be at the cornerback position. Obviously, teams are just going to have to be concerned with the tread on Hunter's tires, but I mean, outside of that, the athleticism, the IQ that he comes with, I mean, it jumps off on the screen. 5 traits to look for in his game. Number 1 are just going to be his high IQ, being able to play on both sides of the ball. The fact that you're able to do that in this day and age, it shows that you have a high level and knowledge of the game. Natural instincts and reads, I mean, you can see it on the film. It pops off whether he's wide receiver, whether he's playing cornerback. He can read the ball. He naturally has a feel for, switching and twitching his body in mannerisms of ways to just go ahead and catch the ball, whether it be on the corner position or wide receiver. Obviously, athleticism is a big thing. I think, personally, he's the best athlete in the country right now. He has fluid hips. Elite ball skills. I mean, that just obviously jumps off the film as well. Just being able to see how he can locate the ball, whether it be at its highest point or its lowest low. I mean, it goes to show Trav has a lot of concentration in his game, and he's definitely worked on his craft. And his 5th one being just his charisma, bro. I mean, the fact that he's able to just light up his offense, light up his defense with just a smile. I mean, even the kid just has that natural aura, as some people just say it now. But just his charisma, man. He plays with a lot of swagger, and a lot of teams are just going to love having a ball player like Travis Hunter on their team. But yeah, right now, Travis Hunter definitely has his name in the hat as one of the best corners, if not the best corner in this year's draft class. Now, the second corner that we're going to be talking about is obviously widely regarded as the CB1 already in college football by several scouts. And it's Will Johnson out of Michigan, and he's been a mainstay for the Wolverine defense really since his arrival as a freshman, where he started. He was a 5-star recruit coming into the Wolverines defense, and he can play both man and zone with ease. He has elite IQ at his position. He thrives in zone coverage where he can track the ball and use his 6'2" frame to disrupt and make plays just all over the football. He's notched 7 career interceptions along with 7 pass deflections, which might not be appealing for, the stat nerds in the world. But when watching his tape, I mean, you guys can see it here. It's clear why the ball really just isn't thrown in his direction. His tape does feature matchups with some of college football's best wide receivers since 2022, including last season, where he went against Rome Odunze and MHJ, who were consensus first-round picks in the 2024 NFL Draft. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, Will Johnson, he held his own. He won majority of those battles. Standing at 6'2", he is the ideal size for an NFL cornerback. And on tape, there really isn't anything that Johnson can't do, whether it be covering or tackling. Already an All-American and all Big Ten honors, Will Johnson's going to look to build his legacy as a Wolverine and potentially be a top 10 pick in this year's upcoming draft. With another full healthy season, I really do think that Will Johnson could find himself even in the top 5 this year, y'all. I mean, it's not a stretch. The kid's tape is absolutely nutty. 5 traits that I would look for in Johnson's game. 1, his speed and acceleration. When he gets the ball, even when he has to track down a receiver or just make up space, it pops out on film. Size and length, I mentioned it twice already. He's 6'2", long wingspan. He's able to pass the deflect, able to disrupt wide receivers. Good ball skills as well. He can track the ball very well. High IQ at his position. Consensus right now from several scouts, he's CB1. So you got to have high IQ if you're going to be ranked CB1 by scouts. And he's battle tested. That's one thing that I really like. Grinder, he's battle tested. He's gone against the nation's best and he's held his own. Like, that's something that you really want to take into account for at the next level. I mean, it's one thing that I took into account for with Sauce Gardner, and look at him now. And that just goes to show. I'm not saying that Will Johnson is going to be Sauce Gardner, but when you're battle tested like that, that definitely will help you, and it translates to your game, especially at the NFL level, where you're literally playing the most elite talent in the nation. All right, now let's talk about the sleeper CB1 of the country. And honestly, I think he's got the goods to be a CB1, even CB1 of the nation. That's Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, and he's kept his name afloat in this conversation for a couple seasons now, and honestly, for a very good reason. While some scouts have been knocking him just because he does play in the independent conference, and because he's 6 foot compared to Will and Trav, who are about that 6'1", 6'2" range, Morrison still does have all the goods to be a pure CB1, and he's shown it since 2022 as a true freshman. During his freshman campaign, he snagged 6 interceptions, 1 going for a touchdown, and he tied for the most amongst Power 5 corners, again, as a freshman. This past season, his interception totals were cut in half with only 3 picks, but his pass deflections did double, showcasing consistent ball skills and the ability to constantly shut down opponents. As a coverage and man corner, he's very, very sound. He plays with fluid hips, great technique, and a high IQ for the game. Very, very limited flags, even going against bigger opponents who try to, big body him. He really doesn't go for it, which I really love, especially on tape. As one of the few corners who has actually gone toe-to-toe with Marvin Harrison Jr. last season, that's honestly where I really went ahead and looked at him, and I was like, hang on now. Like, Morrison really can hold his own. And in fact, according to PFF, when MHJ and Morrison locked up for 7 matchups in a game, Morrison only allowed 2 catches, and he put up 3 pass deflections on the tape. That's definitely got to count for something. I mean, we can see it here. He was on MHJ's helmet. Now, with 9 career interceptions, Morrison will try to add to his resume. I think right now he does rank in the top 5 for Notre Dame history. Now, he was also an all-independent first-teamer twice, freshman and sophomore year. And with another full season and an excellent body of work, I think he can be a hopeful top 15, top 20 pick this upcoming draft. Even though scouts are looking at his size and looking at where he plays, I mean, I feel like, again, you look at guys like Sauce Gardner. It doesn't matter really where you play, because when you can play, you can play. We had Quinyon Mitchell come out of Toledo this past draft. It doesn't matter where you play. If you can play, they will find you. 5 traits that I would look for in Morrison's game. 1 are his awareness and ball skills. He just plays with a lot of instinctual football, and I feel like it just comes from that high IQ. Well, again, that's another trait too, just to look for high IQ. Coverage versatility, being 6 foot. Some people are going to try to big body him, but when he gets into man, if he can get hands on you, good luck. Like, seriously, good luck. In zone, he thrives in, where he can just come downfield, use those fluid hips and that quick twitch to really just, pass deflect or make a play on the football. And he has athleticism. Sometimes some people can say he relies on his athleticism too much, but it's literally God-gifted athleticism and that quick twitch that, again, that's one of those traits that you can't teach. It is literally just, you're born with it. It's one of those things. With that being said, y'all, those are my 3 corners that have the potential to be CB1 of the nation this year, y'all. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to comment a name. Let me know who y'all think is CB1. If you think it's another cornerback that I didn't even mention, feel free to comment that name below. I will check out his tape. I'll let you guys know what I think. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, I'll be coming with a lot more college football content this season, y'all. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.